You are watching MTG Cribs on MTGO Academy featuring RYANCRABBS.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today is a very special day for me. I get to start playing modern videos for MTGO Academy. And I do love modern a lot. I've been excited with the format since it first came out. And so should be able to start doing videos every other week now for modern. Alright, so we'll start off with my first video. It's a deck that I actually played before for you guys a little bit ago in between set releases. It's Merfolk. And before, Merfolk was a very fringe deck, but now it's gotten a lot more popular. I'll explain why in a little bit. And I still think it's really good. It's one of my favorite decks. I love playing it, and I've had a lot of success with it. So the reason why it's gotten more popular since last time I viewed, or showed it off, was because in Theros we get the Devotion mechanic, and as you can tell, this deck has so much blue mana symbols in its permanents. So because of that, we get to take advantage of Thassa, God of the Sea, which I've been playing this deck in preparation for this video, and I haven't actually had much experience with Thassa. Just haven't drawn. I only have one in the deck, so it makes sense. But I have played Master of Waves, and this card's insane. When Theros came out, I was dead set saying this: you don't need this card for the deck. You just want to play Lords. It doesn't pump your other Merfolk. It doesn't do that much. It costs 4 mana, just too expensive. But since I played with it, it's actually really good. It's easy to pump out 4 or 5 tokens. It's protection from reds, not irrelevant, because the control decks usually just have burn spells for the removal besides path. So it's harder to kill, especially with like all these 3-color decks, and just pumping out so many tokens is sweet. Alright, so for the rest of the deck, we have 4 Aether Vials. It hasn't changed too much since last time, but just some minor changes. Then we have 4 Vapor Snag, only 3 Curse Catchers now, needed to make room for other things. All these good cards. And Curse Catcher's okay, but you never really want to draw 2. It's not too relevant, but it's still pretty good. Then we have 4 Silvergale Adepts, which draws cards. 4 Master of the Pearl Trident, and 4 Lord of Atlantis, which do the same thing, pump our Merfolk. One thing to notice though, this does pump all Merfolk, not just ours. So in the mirror, this one's slightly worse, and it also pumps their Mutavault no matter what. Then we have 2 Cornhole Commander, which I've thought about cutting, just because it takes a lot of mana to get it to work. And we've actually upped the land count. We're up to 20 lands now, so it's a little better than before. But it's definitely like one of the cards I could see cutting if we ever come to that. And then we have 4 Spreading Seas, 4 Marrow Regery, which pumps our Merfolk, and also can go crazy with tapping and untapping our permanents, untapping their permanents. Then 1 Thassa and 4 Master Waves. And for the lands, from the lists I've seen recently, none of them play Cavern of Souls, and I think that's wrong. Like, we only have, in the main deck, we only have Vapor Snag and Spreading Seas and Thassa, which are spells that are blue but aren't Merfolk. Or Aether Vial for that matter. So I think 1 Cavern's fine. Then we have 15 Islands and 4 Mutavaults. One thing you may notice that's missing from this main deck is Counter Magic. I was playing 4 Mana Leaks, and I've been thinking about cutting them for a while just because they sit in your hand and they can be pretty awkward. And I looked at some lists. One recently won a Premier event. Also, there was one that top 16 the last Grand Prix in Prague. And they play either no counter spells or just like 2 Spell Pierce. So, and I've tested with it. I was a little leery of it at first, but it seems fine because like all your spells are so redundant. Where most of them, like either they draw you cards or they're just pump your team or become whatever you want them to be. So like if they kill one, usually what you're countering is a removal spell because their creatures don't matter between Island Walk and Vapor Snag. That if they just like have a removal spell, you don't really care about it. So that's the only thing you'd be countering. Only problem with that, it makes us weaker in the Tron matchup if we don't draw Spreading Seas and also a Splitter Twin. Because the only way we can interact with that is the 4 Vapor Snags in the main deck. So that's the main deck. In the sideboard, it's very similar to last time. I like it. I've come to this through a lot of testing. We have 3 Hurkyl's Recall, 4 Affinity, 2 Relic of Progenitus, which I think is very important now because with Deathrite Shaman being banned, graveyard strategies are more likely to appear. So you definitely need your sideboard hate for it. Like Deathrite Shaman in the format kind of keeps those decks at bay. Doesn't obviously put them totally out of the metagame, but like now there's no Deathrite, graveyard decks are more free to run rampant. And then there's also 3 Spell Pierce. That's for combo and control. 2 Spell Skite for Boggle, Splinter Twin. I like this card a lot. It's very powerful. Then we have 3 Tidebinder Mages and 2 Dismembers. I'm not quite sure about these numbers. Like I know a lot of lists are now playing a hibernation, which return all green creatures to the owner's hand, which is good for like the mono green devotion deck. But I like this card a lot. It's really good against pod decks. It just comes down turn 2 and taps their Bird of Paradise or whatever, their Kitchen Finks, so they can't block with it. And Dismember obviously comes against creature decks. This also taps Wild Nacatl. So Dismember, I'm not sure if I want a 4th Tidebinder Mage. I could want an Echoing Truth because there's a lot of token strategies now that Bitter Blossom's unbanned. So being able to bounce their whole team or like half their team seems pretty good. But I haven't had a problem with tokens so far. But we'll see what we wanted. I do love Tidebinder Mage. I'm not opposed to putting some back in the main deck. Maybe cutting Commanders or putting the 4th in the sideboard. Alright, so here's the list, and we're going to join on daily, so hopefully we do good. We'll see you at the start of round 1.